Unit 3, Exercise 1, Message 1.
Hello, you've reached Lesser Logistica. Unfortunately, no one is available to take your call at the moment. Our normal office hours are 9 to 5, Mondays to Fridays. Please leave a message after the beep or send us a fax on 021 9918 814. Thank you.
Hello, this is Walter Jackson calling for Valeria Giuliani. Valeria, I'm calling about the planned project meeting. You asked me if the 10th would be okay for me, and I just wanted to confirm that it is. Maybe you can get back to me as soon as you've confirmed the date and time with everyone. I think you have my number already, but here it is again, just in case. It's 032 34 58 395. Hope to speak to you soon. Bye.
Unit 3, Exercise 1, Message 1.
Hello, you've reached Lesser Logistica. Unfortunately, no one is available to take your call at the moment.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, TikTok. Good morning, YouTube. How's it going, guys? Welcome back, and thank you so much for tuning in for another English lesson for call center, everybody. Right? We're gonna be covering in today's lesson, guys. Is going to be really interesting. We're going to be practicing our listening skills. Number one thing, as the audio that you guys are listening right now in the background, we're going to be listening to that. I'm going to be asking you some questions about that audio, about what the audio is pretty much saying, focusing on numbers, focusing on messages, focusing how we can talk to the customer. And this lesson, everybody, the name of this lesson is how you can actually get in contact with customers, right? We got our first comment. Alex Espinosa. What's up, Alex? How's it going? How's it going, Alex? Welcome and thank you very much for your comment. My goodness. All right. How's it going, TikTok? How's it going? How are you doing today? Are you guys doing all right? Alrighty, so let me just go ahead and stop just over there. We're about to start in 3 minutes. In the meantime, guys, I would appreciate that you can go ahead and tell me where are you guys are joining in today's lesson. Where are you guys from? Let me know in the comments down below. We have Alex is still sleeping. Good morning, Alex. Welcome. Thank you so much for your comment. Alrighty, so let me see something over here. Alrighty, so I'm Nestor, guys. I'm the manager director here. I'm Nest in ACC. And in today's lesson, one of the things that we're going to be learning is how to focus on our listening skills. Okay, that's what we're going to be covering. And something that I also want to mention in today's lesson is that, that there is a very common scenario in the call center industry, and we need to know how to communicate with customers, how we're going to be able to talk to them, how we're going to be able to pretty much overcome that barrier in order for us to either convince them, educate them, or to sell a product or service from the company that we are representing, right? And in that common scenario, guys, is reported speech. And that's another thing that we're going to be covering in today's lesson. Maybe some of you have heard this word before about reported speech. And I just have a question. What do you guys understand by reported speech? Let me just go ahead and write it down in the comments. Reporter speech. What do you guys understand by reporter speech? That's number one question that I have for you in today's lesson, in today's episode. Here we go. Reporter speech. Look at that. Any idea? Any idea about reporter speech? Nope. Alrighty. So let me just go ahead and explain you, and I'm about to explain you that in 1 single minute, in less than a minute. In the meantime, guys, good morning. Good morning, TikTok. Good morning, YouTube. In the meantime, guys, let me know in the comments down below, where are you tuning in? Where are you guys are watching from? I got some messages from people telling me that they got hired recently in the industry of call center last week, which is really amazing for those people who have already achieved this position in this industry. Because in the end, I know that they are doing this because of themselves. They are doing this because they want to improve their English. They are doing this because they just want to help their family. They're doing this because they just pretty much want to have opportunities in the future, like paying their own bills, they're paying their own university, and so on and so forth. All right, time is up, guys. So let's go ahead and get started. And in today's lesson, let's go ahead and talk about reporter speech. What does reporter speech actually mean? As you may know, for those grammar lovers, right? Reporter speech, it's pretty much, let's see. Okay, so reporter speech, it's pretty much to retell what the customer have said to somebody else, or just to repeat what the customer has just said. And the question right now here is, why is this important? How this is going to help you out to understand a customer, how this is going to help you out to get a CSAT, how this is going to help you out to actually handle a call, how this is going to help you out to become a top performance. And in order for you to develop these skills, there are pretty much two things that you need to work on. Number one is your listening skills, making sure that you're going to be able to understand what the customer request is. You need to understand what the customer problem is. You need to understand what the customer issue is in order for you later on to acknowledge the customer situation. In our last event, in our role play event from last live event, I guess it was Friday night, right? It was Friday night last week. We were talking about role plays. We were talking about how you can handle the call. And if you haven't watched that, let me just go ahead and tell you that I'm going to be leaving just right here. A car is going to pop up, especially when you are rewatching this, in order for you to watch that video and you'll understand what is acknowledged and how you can do this, right? Or there are some phrases that you can use as well, right, in the acknowledge part, that you can use this when you are taking a conversation with an OM, with a language specialist, with a recruiter, or even the last person that you're going to be assisting with, which is the customer. We have Kristen, AJ. Ok, so we have Kristen, AJ, entrevista y ese día me contrataron. Ya llevo 2 meses. Congratulations. Kristen, hace un tiempo te había contado que estaba en proceso de ser contratado. Ese día me tenía mi entrevista. Alrighty, Kristen. High five and fist bump to you. Congratulations. Let us know if it's possible, right? You don't need to say it, but let us know what is the call center you're working for. And do you like it? How was your experience so far? And maybe for those people that actually are watching right now, what are those steps? What is those kind of words you encourage them? What will be that motivation that you will tell them to continue on the path of learning English, so they can have the opportunity to work in the call center industry? Alrighty. So as I was saying, in reporter speech, everybody, in reporter speech, in the call center, that is important because number one thing, we need to refer, or we need to make sure that we understand what the customer question, problem, situation, issue, inconvenience, request is. We need to know that, right? And we need to know how to refer, or we need to know how referring to previous conversation. We need to know how to make sure how we can bring to present all that previous communication that we have had with the customer in the past. There are some situations, right? There are some situations that when you need to get in contact with the customer, and you need to mention to the customer that previous information, previous situation you were talking about, you need to bring it to the simple present moment, right? And let's imagine the following. Let's imagine that you are a salesperson. Let's imagine that you are the type of person that makes outbound calls. You are the type of person that pretty much your job is to make those calls and generate leads, generate possible buyers, right? But there are some situations where either, number one, customer says to you, you know what, I can't talk right now. Maybe you should call me later. And the moment, that's the present, right? So you call this customer back either in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, depending on what the customer actually asks you. And you need to refer previous information. Mr. Customer, I'm calling you because the other day when we talk, we spoke about na 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 na. All right. So that is referring information. Referring information or this scenario pretty much happens when you already had a previous conversation with the customer, but suddenly something happened in the way, right? It could be that the customer couldn't talk right now, or the call. Another thing that could happen is that the call got disconnected. Alrighty. Or you are just simply making a follow-up on over the phone. So it turns out, in my experience, sometimes when the call got disconnected and you want to get back to the customer, and sometimes the customers are pretty busy. Sometimes customers go meeting after meeting after meeting. So in one day, when you get in contact with a customer and you are talking to that customer, and suddenly the call got disconnected and you call back that customer, it turns out that maybe that customer is not any longer there. And maybe you just lost the opportunity to close a deal. You just lost the opportunity to pretty much sell something or resell something, or to provide information accurately about the products and service that you are representing for. Alrighty. That's what happened when the call got disconnected. So in your notes, in your CRM, what is going to happen is that you need to type down that you will need to get in contact with this customer within 24 hours, 48 hours, 78 hours, as long as the next goal or the next attempt you have in order for you to talk to the customer. And guess what? At the moment that you are calling to that customer back, you need to make this thing that we call in grammar reported speech, but when it comes to call center, we call it referring previous conversation. And that's one of the things that we're going to be learning today. So we got Christine AG. Thank you. You're welcome, Christy. My pleasure, and welcome to the industry of call centers, right? Alrighty, cool. So let's now, in previous lesson, or in our last episode, or in our last lesson, we were talking about acknowledging the customer. And acknowledging the customer is pretty much to understand what the problem with the customer is or was, right? And there is another scenario, guys. There is another scenario that is called building rapport. And building rapport, it's pretty much to repeat what the customer, what you have understood from the customer, and say something that matches the customer's mood. That's the number one thing in order for you to start building rapport with the customer. Building rapport with the customer, that's another lesson that itself, just the word building rapport has more than things, has more things in other that you need to think about it if you really want to accomplish that part in a call center. However, the number one thing in order for you to start opening that part of the building rapport is to listen to the customer and slightly repeat with your own words what you have understood about that. Alrighty. So this is the example right here. Let's imagine, everybody. Let's imagine that you are a CSR. Do you guys understand what CSR is, right? Let's imagine that you are a CSR. CSR stands for Customer Service Representative, okay? And you work for this big Apple's computer corporation, all right? You work for Apple's computer. Let's put it like that. So let's picture that in our mind. And you receive a lead. What does lead mean? Does anybody know what does lead mean? So like story retelling, Juan JZB says, kind of, right? Kind of. But let's imagine that you receive a lead. Does anybody understand what lead is? Lead. People from TikTok, people from YouTube, Lead, lead. You receive pretty much a new customer. Let's imagine that you receive a new customer, right? You are pretty much in front of your computer. Then the system tells you, you have a new message from a new customer. So it turns out that you need to call these customers out. You need to make that outbound call. So you will need to get in contact with this customer. So once again, picture that you are a customer service representative from Apple's computer, and you receive a lead. You receive a new customer. You need to get back in contact with that customer. So you call the customer and you say, "Hi, my name is Nestor, Mr. Customer. I'm calling on behalf of Apple's computer help desk representative. And from what I can see, right, in your requested information about our new iPhone 13. Alrighty. So once again, my name is Nestor, Mr. Customer. I'm calling on behalf of Apple's computer from the help desk. And from what I can see, you requested information our new iPhone 13. But the customer says something like this. The customer said, because it will happen, right? Whenever you are in sales, especially making outbound calls, the customer say something like, "I'm busy," or "I'm too busy at the moment. Could you please call me back?" So we need to understand that the customer is not telling you something like, "You know what? Don't call me. You know what? I don't know who are you. You know what? I don't know who gave you my phone number. You don't know what? I am not interested in your cell phones," right? So the customer is not telling you that. The thing is that we need to understand that I have seen this before in the past with some of the students when they say something like, "Oh, but you know what? The customer didn't want to talk at this moment." But we need to understand that in the United States, or especially this market, it's pretty busy. So it means that we only have slight window. The window is so narrow that it's going to be quite difficult for us to open all the possibilities. So that's the reason why we need to have a hook immediately in order for us to have the opportunity to the customer to listen to us. All right. So that's very important. So that's the reason why that at the very beginning, when you are making that outbound call, you need to make sure that the customer is going to be listening to you clearly and very, very fluently at the moment that you are speaking to the customer. Okay. So once again, my name is Nestor. I'm calling on behalf of Apple Computer from Help Desk. From what I can see, you requested information about our iPhone 13. But the customer says, right? The customer says, I'm too busy at the moment. Could you please call me back? And then let's say that you set up a follow-up call. You set up another call in, let's say, 1 day, 2 days, 1 week. That's going to be depending on that time frame. That's going to be depending on what the customer actually said. Maybe in 5 minutes, maybe in 10 minutes. And let's say that you set up the call. All right. Now, the question right now will be, how could you report in that sentence? The sentence of the customer is, I'm too busy at the moment. Could you please call me back? So now you hang up with the call. You hang up in the call. You call the call center. You call the customers back in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 week. It doesn't matter. But you need to call the customer back. And the question is, how could you refer to the fact that you previously wanted to get in contact with the customer? How could you tell the customer, Mr. Customer, I called you, but you said I am too busy? How would you actually use communication in order to tell the customer, Mr. Customer, I'm calling you back, but the last time this happened? How would you do that? And this is where you use reporter's speech. So the sentence is, I'm too busy at the moment. Could you please call me back? How would you refer that sentence to the customer? So Juan JC says, in this case, it would be great to ask what time we can call back. Yes, Juan, very good. That's pretty reasonable, which is true. It's always very important to tell the customer what time will be the best time for you to call the customer back. Yep, absolutely. Because most of the time they are in meetings, they are doing something else. And sometimes it will be useful for you to give them a call whenever they feel like they can take a decision. And in the end, that's what you are aiming. You are calling a customer and just not to, let's say, to have a conversation with them. You call a customer because of a purpose, because you want to fulfill that information, because you want to pretty much provide them information, because you want to sell, because you want to request additional information from a service that they are acquiring from you. So yeah, that's the reason why. So the customer says, I'm too busy at the moment. Could you please call me back? Alrighty. So how would you call the customer back and tell the customer that you called previously, but the customer said this: I'm too busy at the moment. Could you please call me back? So the phone rings. The customer picks up. Hello. What would you say? Any idea? Grammar lovers? Any idea? No idea? Okay, that's okay. No worries. I might think that the scenario, it might be a little bit difficult, huh? It might be a little difficult because maybe you haven't experienced this in a call center, but you do experience this with your mom, with your dad, with a friend, when a friend tells you, when your mother tells you, when your father tells you, you know what, I can't talk right now. Could you please? I'm busy right now at the moment. Could you please call me back? So you call back the person and you refer to that statement that your mother, father, brother, sister, whoever it could be, and you refer to that statement. But let me give you a hint. Hint, 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 hint. You need to change the tense. You need to change the tense. I'm too busy at the moment. Could you please call me back? You need to change the tense. If you want to refer, if you want to quote, if you want to, let's say, repeat what the customer has said. The question is, how would you do it? How would be the right statement? And that is part of proper communication, everybody. And that is part of proper communication. And why I'm telling you this? Because I don't want you that you experience something that happened to me when I was in the call center industry at my very earliest stages. I want to talk to a person who speaks English, or I want to have a native English speaker. So we got Michael Velez. Michael, I would like to know if I can call you later. Michael Velez, thank you very much for your participation. I would like to know if I can call you later. That is in the moment, Michael. That is at the moment when the customer says, I'm too busy at the moment. Could you please call me back? Let's say, yeah, sure, no problem, Mr. Customer. What time would you like me to call you back? Yes. What about if you call me back in 5 minutes? The customer said. Okay, not a problem. And you need to understand the following. The customer is not expecting your call. The customer is receiving as many calls as possible during the day. So, and the following call, it might be, maybe it's going to be you. The following call, maybe it's going to be another important call that the customer is pretty much waiting. Alrighty? So you need to understand this. You need to understand that the customer is not going to be there, even though the customer has requested some information for you. The customer is not going to be there forever waiting for you. So anytime, it is pretty essential, it's very important that you refer previous information. And the question is, Michael, is how can you refer previous information? You already talked to the customer. You spoke to the customer already. And the customer says, yes, sure, no problem. Call me back in 5, 10, 1 week, 3 weeks, 1 month, 1 year, right? It doesn't matter. But then you need to call the customer back. However, you need to refer previous information with the customer. How would you do that? That's the question. And in grammar, we call something that is called reported speech. Okay? So then we have Juan. JZB says, hello, sir. This is Juancho. I'm calling you regards to have the new iPhone 13. Okay, very good. So here we go. Last time you told me that you were busy at the moment and asked me to call you back later. One JZB. Pretty awesome job, man. Pretty awesome job, one JZB. Congratulations. Guys, take a look at this. I want you to pay attention to the following. Referring. This is calling call center, referring information. And this is so important. This is so crucial because it will help you to lead a conversation with the customer. Let me tell you one more time. Remember, one thing, the customer is not expecting a call from you. The customer submitted information. The customer wanted to have information about the new iPhone 13. The customer perhaps is interested in the new iPhone 13 because the customer maybe wants to know how many cameras the new iPhone 13 actually have. What is the let's say resolution of those cameras, and so on and so forth. What is the battery life, and all those things we can think of when we're talking about phones, right? Or as phones aspects. All right. So you receive that information from the customer, and the customer says to you, hey, you know what? I need information about the iPhone 13. So you call the customer first time, and the customer say, "Oh yes, I remember, but right now, at the moment of the call was, I'm too busy at the moment. Could you please call me back?" And take that's simple present, everybody. I'm too busy at the moment. I'm too busy at the moment. Could you please call me back? That's simple present. That is something happening right. At the moment of the call. Excuse me. So if the customer says, call me back in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 week, 1 year, whatever. So you call the customers back and you say something like this: "Hello, Mr. Customer," or "Hello, sir." We actually don't use "sir" in customer service. We use, "Hey, hello, Juan. Hello, Nestor. Hello, Michael. Hello, Kristen. Hello," whatever person names is, right? So, "Hello, Michael. Hello, Juan. This is Juancho. I'm calling you in regards to the new iPhone 13, which is a really good introduction. Last time," and this is when the referring comes to, or the reference comes in, right? "Last time you told me," right? That's just the past. "You told me that you were," past tense, "you were busy at that moment and asked me to call you back later." So as you can see, take a look at that. The customer says, "I'm too busy right now. Could you please call me back?" And that's the moment of the call. Then you call the customers back, and the customer says, or the CSR, the customer representative, says this time, "Last time you told me you were busy at that moment, and you asked me to call you back later," which is awesome. So as you can see, one of the things that we need to do in order for us to, when it comes to referring information, is just that. Now, maybe some of you hasn't realized what you need to do. That's the reason why I have brought you more exercises. Alrighty, let's imagine the following. Imagine that the customer says, "I'm at a meeting. I need you to call me back in 5 minutes." The customer says that. "I'm in a meeting," right? Um, I'm at a meeting. I need you to call me back in 5 minutes. How would you refer to this sentence? So Christian says, "And I was wondering if you are available right now." Very good, Christine. Very good. "Hello, Mr. Customer. Good morning. I'm calling you on behalf of," okay, "we spoke last time about," okay, "and I was wondering if you are available right now." What we spoke last time about, that is the referring part that I want you to pay attention to, because everything else, it's pretty good. Kristen, "Hello, Mr. Customer. I'm calling in behalf of, we spoke last time about," but what was that thing we spoke about? All right, what was that phrase that it will help you out to continue with the conversation, so the customer can say, oh yes, I do remember that part. All right, that's the thing. That's where we need to use referring, right? Referring in communication. So we have the following sentence. The following sentence says, "I'm in a meeting," or "I'm at a meeting. I need you to call me back in 5 minutes." How would you refer to that sentence? So you hang up with the customer, you call the customer back in 5 minutes, and you say, "Mr. Customer, I'm Nestor from Apple's computer," right? Whatever intro you want to say. "And last time you told me," you can use told, which is the past of tell, or you can use say. And what would be the past? What would be the past? Tell me. What will be the past? Any idea? It will be something like, Mr. Customer, I'm calling you on behalf Apple's computer, right? My name is Nestor. I'm calling you on behalf Apple's computer. And last time you told me, the customer says, I am in the meeting in the past. Then Michael Vela says, hello, mister. This is Michael. The last time I offered you one promotion, but you told me you were occupied, and I wanted to know if you are you free at the moment. Michael, very good, very good. We're talking about referring. Very good job. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Absolutely right, Michael. Michael, high five and fist bump to you. High five and fist bump to you. Good job, man. And that's what we're talking about. I guess you got it now. And Kristen also as well. Remember that you need to use, and I don't want to say it just right now, but I think you got it. The customer is talking in present, and I already mentioned that you need to change the tense. And I guess that you guys know already what would be that tense that you need to change to. Now, Michael, just as a general feedback, hello, which is awesome. Mr. Customer, okay. This is Michael. Very good, awesome. However, in Spanish, we say la última vez. But in English, we don't say the last time. Just omit the, all right, in English. It would be better, obviously, it would be awesome to say, this is Michael, last time. All right, just omit the. That would be great. I offer to you. Okay, I offered to you, or I called you in this case, right? I gave you a call. One promotion. Okay, all right, that's okay. But you told me that you were occupied. Observation over here with this word occupied, everybody. What's the difference between occupied and busy? What is the difference? This is vocabulary, everybody. This is vocabulary. And there is a huge difference between occupied and busy. Do you guys know? And I wanted to know that's awesome. That's beautiful. I wanted, which is in past, right? And that is a polite way to talk to the customer, even though that you are talking to the customer in present, which is beautiful. I wanted to know if are you free at the moment? Now, this is like a question, but you need to keep in mind that whenever you say something like, I wanted to know, do you know? And you use if, it will be, in the sentence will be, if you are, instead of if are you free at the moment. All right, so it would be better. I wanted to know if you are free at the moment. Maybe it was a typo error over there. I might think about it. However, going back to my original question, what is the difference between occupied and busy? You occupy something to make use of it. Wilson Craft. Okay, very good. And I'm very thankful for your tips and advices. Okay, Michael. All right, not a problem, my friend. Not a problem. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for your input. One observation over there. One observation. I'm just trying to help you, right? Guys, whenever I pick on observations, whenever I pick on feedback, don't feel bad about it. All right, don't feel bad about it. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody should learn. The most important part about mistakes is that you need to learn about them. The more you learn about your mistake, I promise you, buddy, I promise you, everybody, that you are going to improve 5 times faster. The more you focus on your mistakes, but not like, oh my goodness, I don't want to talk, I don't want to speak because I'm just making mistake every single time that I speak or I just write down something. Not about that, not about regretting, but about embracing your mistakes. Like, oh, I understand now this, and now how I know how to use it. And I promise you, your English, your developing and speaking skills, they will improve 100 times faster. 5 times faster, that's little, right? That's nothing. But 100 times faster. It's like, for example, I'm going to say this in Spanish so everybody can also understand this. When we have a kid and the kid says imprimido, right? Imprimido, most likely we say something like, it's not imprimido, it's impreso. And it doesn't matter how many times the kid is going to say imprimido, we're going to be correcting this guy as much time as possible. So next time, this little kid will say, oh, no, it's not imprimido, it's impreso, because he already knows how the language is spoken. All righty? So another observation, Michael, that I have for you is that advises is not plural. It's not countable. It's uncountable. So thank you for your tips, which is plural, which is great, and advice. All right? Just another thing like that. But very good, man. Very good. So, and we also have Wilson Craft, who says, you occupy some time to make use of it. Occupy, guys, it's when we talk about space. Space is occupy. Like, for example, when you need to go to the bathroom in a public space, you pay for that public space. You pay, I don't know, 5 Cordobas, 10 Cordobas, whatever bathroom you want to use. And then there is another person in the bathroom. Or maybe you don't need to pay. Maybe you go to Metrocentro. Maybe you go to a mall, galerías. Maybe you go to, I don't know, whatever public space where bathrooms are. And somebody is using that bathroom that is occupied. The bathroom is not busy. Maybe the person is busy, but the bathroom is not busy. The bathroom is occupied, or the restroom is occupied. So you cannot use it. So occupied, we talked about spaces, right? For example, right now in this space where I am, it's being occupied by my persona, right? Nobody else can come and sit next to me because it will be kind of awkward since it's small. So that means occupied. Alrighty. And busy, when we talk about the person cannot take the call, the person cannot talk to you for one or another reason. Very good, very good. We have Wilson Craft. Thank you very much. Hello, sir. My name is Christian. On behalf of, I called you 5 minutes ago. In regards to, I was wondering if you are available right now. Very good. Alrighty. Good. Perfect. Excellent. So, and one more, guys. One more. Let me give you another one. What about this expression? I'm at work. Please call me back at 6 p.m. What about this expression? I'm at work. Please call me back at 6 p.m. I'm at work. Please call me back at 6 p.m. So how would you refer to this sentence? I'm at work. Please call me back at 6 p.m. How would you go and refer to the customer? Hey, Mr. Customer, I'll call you a couple of minutes ago, a couple of hours ago, 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, 15 days ago, 1 month ago, and you told me, or you said to me, that's very important, you told or you said, which is in past, what would be the sentence? Any idea? I'm at work. I'm at work. Please call me back at 6. TikTok, YouTube. Just Still waiting for you. So referring to that sentence will be something like you, right? You were at work and you asked me to call you back at 6 p.m. Alrighty. So, Mr. Customer, I'm Nestor. I'm calling on behalf of Apple's computer in regards to the iPhone 13 information you requested. However, you told me you were at work and you asked me to call you back at 6 p.m. And the customer will be like, oh, yes, dude. Yeah, I do remember you. Yes. Yeah, I'm available now. Let's go ahead and talk, right? I wanted to know about what are the new specs of the of the new iPhone 13, and then you go ahead with the story, right? That's pretty much how it is. Now, however, everybody, let's imagine another possible scenario. Remember that the first scenario happens when the customer requests information from your company. You give them a call to the customer. The customer says, for one or another reason, I can't talk right now. I'm busy right now. I need to do something else right now, and I need you to call me back. And you need to refer to previous information so the customer feels like he's not lost in previous communication. However, now I want you to imagine the following. I want you to imagine that you are having a conversation with the customer. All right. You're having a conversation with the customer. The customer is open-minded. He's listening to you. The customer wants to know more about the product. He is easygoing. The customer pretty much, you feel like the customer really wants to buy your product, really wants to get one of the iPhone 13 or one computer or whatever thing that you're selling, right? In this scenario, since you are a CSR representative from Apple's computer, so that's going to be the scenario, right? But the customer says something like this. Well, I didn't buy the iPhone because I was sick last Monday. Alrighty? How would you refer to that? How would you use that sentence in your communication in order to tell the customer that you have understood the customer was sick, and then use maybe some empathy? But once again, acknowledging and empathy is not part of today's lesson, but this is like the beginning, right, in communication in order for you to start building those two things: building rapport, acknowledging the customer, and empathy. In previous lessons, I'm going to be talking about a little bit deeper, but if you understand this lesson, if you understand this class, obviously it's going to be way much easier for you to understand how you can start building rapport, building empathy, and building how to actually use acknowledge when you are with a customer. So the sentence one more time: you're having a conversation with the customer, and the customer suddenly says, "You know what? Well, I didn't buy the iPhone because I was sick last Monday." That's the sentence. How would you refer to that sentence? Very good, Michael. Very good, Michael. High five and fist bump to you, Michael. Excellent job, my friend. Much better. Better fluency over there. Hello, Mr. Customer. Good evening. Okay. Hello. Good evening, Mr. Customer. This is Michael. I talked with you. Observation: talked with you, talked to you at 3 p.m. and you told me you couldn't talk because you were working. And can we can we to speak now, Mr. Customer? Are you available right now, Mr. Customer? That would be much better. Observation, talk with or talk to. It's possible to use talk with, but it's more convenient. It sounds more natural when you use talk to. It's like speak to, and talk to. It's more natural. Okay. You can use it though. I prefer, me personally, I use talk to and I use speak to, because this is more. I mean, you can use both of them, but you sound more natural when you use speak to. Sorry, I was always mistake on the. Michael, you don't need to sorry about your mistakes. Embrace your mistake. Oh, when you say sorry, it's because you're ashamed of something. Sorry, I stole your money, or sorry, I ate something that I shouldn't have eaten. Sorry, I slept with your wife, right? Not just kidding, guys. Sorry, I slept with your girlfriend. So when that's those are bad examples, I know. But let's imagine that you feel sorry when you're ashamed of something, but you shouldn't be ashamed of your mistakes. That's my message. Embrace your message. Embrace your mistakes. Whenever you make a mistake, you feel like, oh, this is my mistake. I love your mistake. Thank you for letting me know this is not the way. I should change this. All right. That's the way of embracing things. That's the way of seeing things differently. And I want you to do the same thing with your mistake every single time that you face a mistake. All righty. No worries about that, man. So never sorry about your mistake, even a written mistakes or spoken mistake. Nobody cares about the mistakes people actually make. But you as a person, you would like to sound confident. You would like to sound like a person that can persuade others. You would like to feel like a person that can help others, motivate others, help pretty much to assist others. And when it comes to customer service industry, you need to sound upbeat, and you need to sound like, okay, you know what? This guy is knowledgeable of the things they're doing, of the things that he's doing. And that's the reason why I always want to talk to Michael. All righty. So embrace your mistakes. All right. So anyway, going back to our sentence, the customers, you are having a really good conversation with the customer, but suddenly the customer says something like, oh, you know what? Well, you ask the customer, Mr. Customer, why you didn't buy the phone at the moment it was released? And then you said, well, you know what? I didn't buy the phone because I was sick last Monday. How would you refer that? How would you use that sentence in order for you then to start empathy? One more time. We're not talking about empathy today. We're talking about something. It's a communication thing. It's a skill that you need to develop. Some people might say, oh, really? You need to work on that? Yes, because this is part of communication. Remember that you are on the phone. There is no non-verbal communication whatsoever, just your tone of voice and perhaps the way that you speak, the way that you communicate, that is listening, that is going through the speaker of your customer. So that is the reason why it's very important to use words, the wordings, to have really good communication. And this is what, when you see those job posting out there, we need people with really good communication. This is what we're talking about. Really good communication, besides good pronunciation, besides good fluency, besides good coherence, besides good vocabulary, besides all that which is part of a spoken language. You need to know, or you need to understand, what is the cultural language as well. And this is part of the thing in customer service. When you refer to things like this, and then it leads you to another phase on your call, in your call flow, so you will feel more like, okay, you know what, this customer is, I'm just getting through this customer, and I'm going to help him or help her as much as possible, because he is giving you, or she is giving you, the opportunity just for the things that you are saying to the customer. So we have the answer over here. Resinas, hey, what's up, Resinas? Welcome back. Thank you so much. Sorry to hear that. I hope you're feeling healthy right now. Don't you? But that's not referring. Sorry to hear that. I hope you're feeling healthy right now. Don't you? That's a tag question, but that question, I hope you are feeling healthy right now. Resinos, I'm not sure about this, right? I'm not sure about this, being quite honest. But we're talking about referring. And what is referring? Referring is to pretty much use the sentence the customers just have said. You change the tense of that sentence, right? And right now we are just focusing on that. Later in previous lesson, I'm gonna teach you guys how you can build rapport, how you can start building empathy, or how you can create empathy with the customer, and how you can acknowledge the customer. And that's the reason why you need to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can receive all live events, all our live event lessons, and you be aware of what is going to happen at the moment of your job interview, or what is going to happen every single time that you have a phone call with a customer. Alrighty, cool. So what's up, TikTok? YouTube is beating you today. Why is that? No participation from TikTok people today in today's live event. Alrighty, so this is the question. This is it. Well, I didn't buy the phone because I was sick last Monday. How would you refer to that sentence, guys? And then Kristen says, oh, sure, sir. I understand how difficult is when you feel sick. I hope you're feeling better right now. Okay. Not that bad, Kristen. Very good. Very good. However, when it comes to communication, that wouldn't be the right tense. That wouldn't be the right tense. Alrighty? And this is crucial, guys, because if the customer says something like, well, I didn't buy the phone because I was sick last Monday, and then you come something like, I understand how difficult it is when you feel sick. It's not that bad. People will understand. It's not that, oh my God, you know what? I am going to kill you because of this sentence. No, not because of that. It's pretty acceptable, and people or customer will go along with. It doesn't matter. However, if we would like to improve that part in our communication skills, we need to change the tense. We need to use reported speech. Alrighty? So how would you report a speech with the customer with this sentence? Let's do it. So the sentence says, well, I didn't buy the phone because I was sick last Monday. So you as a customer service representative, Mr. Customer, I understand that you hadn't, right, or had not bought the iPhone. Okay, hold on. Before I give you my answer, San Juan says, hello, sir, this is what? Ta. All right, this is ta. I hope you are well and enjoying good health. Last time you told me you were sick. I would like to know if you are feeling better so we can proceed otherwise. Juan, remember that right now you are with the customer. You're having a really good good conversation with the customer. You're chatting with the customer. The customer is telling you everything you want to know, and you're about to close the deal. However, there are some procedures that you need to follow in order for you to close that deal. But the customer says, oh, you know what? I didn't buy the cell phone last I didn't buy the cell phone. I didn't buy the phone because I was sick last Monday. That is in the middle of the call. And the previous episode, on the previous scenario, was the customer told you, you know what, I can't talk right now. Please call me back later. But right now, in this scenario, we are with the customer where the customer says something like, you know what, I didn't buy the phone because I was sick last Monday. And the customer is still with you. He's remaining in the line and he wants to buy the phone with you, right? But he just mentioned that. So how would you refer that in order for you later on, build empathy, which is pretty much one of the things that you guys are doing right now. You are building empathy, which is good. I'm not saying that is bad, but before you start building empathy, there is something that you need to do, which is referring the customer. And the referring the customer, we can refer the customer by saying just this. Mr. Customer, I understand you had not bought the iPhone 13, right? iPhone 13 because you had been sick. All right, pay attention to that, guys. That is referring and that is communication. Then I can say my empathy statement. All right, then I can say my empathy statement. I said this, Mr. Customer, I understand you had not bought the iPhone 13 because you had been sick. You got it? Are you following me? Let me give you another example. Let's imagine the customer says something like, one more time, this is the scenario. We are in the middle of the call. The customer is not asking you to call you back. In fact, the customer remains on the line with you, remains on the phone. He wants to get something. He just got paid and he wants to buy something from your company. And guess what? You're going to be responsible for that commission. All righty. So let's imagine the following. Let's imagine the next one. Take a look at this one. You are with the customer on the line. One says, yep, okay. I think maybe Juan got it. Let's see what everybody else think about it, right? Take a look at this one. I can go to an Apple store, or I can go. Oh, this is a mistake over here. Just let me see if I can fix that. I can go to an Apple store. It's missing an N over there. My bad, my mistake. You see, Michael, everybody makes mistakes. So I can go to an Apple store. I need you to send me a replacement to my address. Before you take and you say to the customer, Mr. Customer, don't worry, I'm going to help you with this, blah, 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 blah. Just give me your address and you will have the replacement in 24 hours or less than that. Before you actually do something for the customer, you need to build communication with the customer. Building communication with the customers is acknowledging the customer, building rapport, showing some empathy, making sure you understand what the customer issue is. And this is part of communication, right? So how would you refer to this statement? I can't go to an Apple store. I need you to send me a replacement to my address. Oh my God. In fact, it was not that one. But anyway, let's do what with that one. Let's see what happens. Maybe you can get this one. Any idea? Melissa, hi. Hello, Melissa. How's it going? Melissa 24. Any idea, everybody? This was not the sentence. Just give me 1 second. But let's see. I'm going to leave you that one. And I'm going to give you as well the sentence that I want you to see. This is part of another sentence. To an Apple computer. Right? To an Apple store. And this is the sentence. You are with the customer. You're with the customer. The customer says, You're the customer. The customer says, I was on a trip last month and I missed the discount on the new iPhone. One more time. I was on a trip last month and I missed the discount on the new iPhone. What would you say to the customer? How would you refer this into your conversation with the customer? Remember, the customer is not telling you, call me back. You are with the customer, right, on the phone, and you just need to make sure that you're going to be able to sell this time to the customer. How would you do it? How would you do it, everybody? Let me know in the comments. I was on a trip last month and I missed the discount on the new iPhone. So it will be something like this. It will be something like this. Hi, Nestor. How's it going? Hey, what's up, Benji Bench? How's it going, man? And Wilson Craft, I understand you were on a trip and I hope you did great over there. Lucky for you. Good. Good, Wilson. Yes, that's the thing that was missing, right? About the discount. Remember that whenever you will have the opportunity to pretty much to sell the product, you need to take advantage of that. By the customer already says, I missed the discount, right? How would you refer that into your conversation, into your spoken English? But very good, Wilson. Excellent. So it will be something. Hello, Mr. Customer. This is Michael again. All right, and this is Michael again. And what is going to be the answer, Michael? And don't worry, you can get this discount. Okay. Yes. Don't worry, you can get this discount now a day, nowadays or today. You can get this discount today. Yes, but that is after you're inferring. How is going to be the way that you can infer this? So instead of saying, I was on a trip last month, you can say something like, you were on a trip last month, all right? And you had missed the discount on the new iPhone 13. So take a look at the tense change just right there. You were on a trip last month, right? You were on a trip. I'm sorry, it's not you were on a trip. It is you had been on a trip. You had been on a trip and you had missed the discount on the new iPhone 13. That is the right sentence, everybody. That's the right sentence over there. You had been on a trip and you had missed the discount on the new iPhone 13. All right? That is referring to previous conversation. And how the hell this is going to help you? This is going to help you by having a better communication between you and your customer. And your customer will feel like, okay, number one thing, this person, the one that I'm talking to right now, knows how English is handled, knows how to speak better English. And just by having that reflection on customer, the customer will feel like, okay, let's go ahead and let's continue. Even though they might know that you are not a native English speaker. This is how you can actually improve your overall communication when you are with a customer. And is important? That is important? Yes, is important, right? And then you continue with empathy statement. You continue with acknowledging the customer. You continue with, let's say, what's the other one? Acknowledge the customer, empathy statement, building report, and so on. Alrighty. So, but pay attention to that. This is your original sentence. The customer says, no, this is the, oh, you know what? I was on a trip last month and I missed the discount on the new iPhone, right? That's what the customer said. And then you said, and you referred that sentence, oh, Mr. Customer, I understand you had been on a trip. Mr. Customer, I understand that you had been on a trip and you had missed the discount on the new iPhone 13. And then you say something like what Michael says. Don't worry. You shouldn't say that. Don't worry. You can get a discount today. It would be better to say something like, I assure you that you're going to get your discount today with me. That will sound much better. All right. That will sound much better. All right. Let me give you another one, guys. Let me give you another one. Pay attention to this one. Take a look at this one. I want you to tell me what is the tense in every single statement that I'm telling you right now. So you're in the middle of a conversation and the customer says something like, I received the offer for the new iPhone 13, but I was on vacation. One more time. You are with the customer is not going anywhere. So how would you refer this sentence, to the customer? TikTok? YouTube? What can you guys tell me about it? So the customer says, I received the offer of the new iPhone 13, but I was on vacation. How would you refer to that one so you can afterward build empathy, acknowledge the customer, or build a rapport with the customer? So Rosina says, you had received the offer for the new iPhone, but you were on vacation? Kind of, Rosinas. Kind of. The first part, it's really, really good. The first part is really, really good. But the second part is the one that you need to change. You need to change that part. I received the offer, and Rosina says, you have received the offer, which is great. That's the tense. And what about in the second part? But I was on vacation. I was on vacation, and you just kept the same one. You kept the same tense, but you were on vacation. You need to change that tense too. How would you change it? How would you change it? This is the original expression from the customer. I received the offer, but you have been on vacation. There you go. Very good. Okay. All right. I think you have gotten this so far. So let me just go ahead and share my screen so everybody can actually see it, right? Everybody can actually see it. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Every single time the customer, right? The customer says something. Every single time the customer says something, right? In the present, what is going to happen? What do we need to use? So for example, the customer says, I'm busy right now. What do you need to use? So every single time the customer says in the present, I'm busy right now. What would you need to use? You need to use what? The past. Right? You need to use the past tense. So in this case would be, if you say, I'm busy right now, the referring will be, what will be the referring? You were busy. Okay, that will be the referring. Now, on the other hand, if the customer says something in the past, like I received, right? If the customer says something in the past, like let's say I received the offer. Let's change the color to this. And the customer says, I've received the offer, but something that happened to the customer, let's say. So every time the customer talks in the past, so you need to go a little bit further in the past. You need to go a little bit further in the past. And what is the name of that tense? What is the name of that tense when you need to go a little bit further in the past? Let me give you a graphic just right here. Take a look at this. This is the present moment. This is right now, the present. Okay. You know this, guys, because this is grammar. And most of you, I promise you, you know this, but you need to know how to use grammar. And that is called a spoken grammar. And that is something that we do in our courses. We know, or we do our best that you can understand how grammar is used in spoken English. And I promise, if I come to you here with today's grammar lesson, it will be such a boring lesson, because you will know actually everything, every rule. And I'm guarantee you that you know more grammar than me. Because I'm not the kind of person that focusing on grammar. I'm the kind of person that focusing on how you should speak so people can understand you in the best way possible. So going back to our whiteboard, this is the present. We know the past. This is the past. But something, simple present, ¿verdad? Simple present, simple past. But there is something else in the past. There is something else in the past that we use it, that if somebody have said something in the past, we need to go a little bit further in the past. What is the name of that tense in that further in the past? What would be the name of that? And Resina says, okay, this is a huge confusion between past participle and the past perfect tense. This is the question now. What past participle? What is the difference between past participle and the past perfect? What's the difference? Past participle of past perfect continuous tense. Okay, guys, past participle is not a tense. Okay, it's not a tense. It's just pretty much the structure of the verb. The past participle, you use it in order for you to build the past perfect. Okay? This is grammar now. Past perfect. And how do you use the past perfect? You use the past perfect with had plus the past participle of the verb. But the past participle, participle, participle. The past participle, guys, is not a verb. I'm sorry, it's not a tense. The tense is past perfect. Alrighty? So this is grammar, everybody. Okay? Now, going back to our communication. When the customer is talking in present, I am sick. I am sick. I am worried. I am busy. If you want to refer to that, you need to use the past. You need to use simple past. And what is referring? Referring is pretty much the key in order for you to start building rapport with the customer, the key in order for you to start let's say to acknowledge the customer, and referring is the key to have a really good communication with the customer. Now, if the customer says something in past, you need to go a little bit further in the past, and that is when we use past perfect. So with that being said, if the customer said, I received the offer, but I was on vacation, right? Let me just add this. I received the offer, but I was on vacation. Alrighty. So how would you turn this sentence into past perfect tense? How would you do it? You already know the answer, obviously, because you are the master in grammar. There you go. Juan says, have plus verb in past participle form. There you go. Absolutely. So you, because we're talking about the customer, you had received the offer, right? But you had been on vacation. All right. That would be the way that you can start building a better communication with customers. You see that now? Kelly, got it. Very good, Kelly. Awesome. Awesome, Kelly. High five, fist bump to you, man. Kelly, are you a girl? I'm sorry, Kelly. Yeah, you're a girl. Yeah, Kelly, very good, Kelly. Fist bump to you, girl. Alrighty. So Juan, had plus, yep, absolutely. Had plus verb in past participle form. Yep, absolutely, guys. This is the way that you can actually build or start building a better communication with customer. And why is this important? This is important when, number one, you're referring what the customer have said. It's going to be important because in this way you are opening, or you are given the footprints in order for you to have that strong acknowledge to the customer. It will help you out for you to have, let's say, better building rapport with the customer, and at the same time, it will help you out to pretty much have a really good conversation or communication with the customer. So Racinos, it says, okay, I get it now, bro. Very good, man. High five, Racino. High five and fist bump to you. High five and fist bump to you. Very good, man. Very good. So guys, this is pretty much how you can improve your English. This is communication, everybody. Let us, we have a couple of announcements over there in the street. Chatarra, chatarra, chatarra. Can you hear that, guys? All right, anyway, so Gabby says, thanks for teaching us. Not a problem, Gabby. My pleasure. Thank you. All right, now, you have seen this in the past. Let me stop sharing my screen. Let me go ahead and ask you then, what would you do in this case? What would you do in this scenario? All right. The customer says the following. Now you already know how to build referring with the customer. And now the customer says the following. Take a look at this. Remember to use the past. When you're referring, you're using the past. But the customer, if the customer used the past, you need to use the further past, aka past perfect tense. So the customer now says, oh, you know what? I want to buy your computer. I want to buy your iPhone. I want to buy your device, but I can't afford it. Your computer is too expensive. So this is where real communications comes in. I can't afford your computer. It's too expensive. How can you guys refer to this? How would you refer to that statement? Let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. And at the same time, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share among your friends. Let's see if you just got the explanation. I can't afford your computer. It's too expensive. And guess what? In call center, this might happen. This is something that is called, how do you call this? Rebuttals Objections. The customer says, I don't want this. Or, I want to have this, but this is my first objection. So you need to come with a rebuttal. So in other words, to overcome that objection by you giving them a better option, right? But before you give a better option, before you go to that deeper level of helping the customer, you need to build communication with the customer, okay? So Sergio Mendez says something like, before we have, hold on, wait a second, Resinos. Okay, Resinos, you couldn't afford the computer because it's too expensive. Resinos, pay attention to the last part. The customer says, I can't afford your computer. It's too expensive, okay? And Resinos says, you couldn't afford, which is the first part, which is awesome. Remember that you're referring what the customer says, right? So I couldn't afford the computer. Great, because it is too expensive. It's still in present. The customer already said it is expensive, okay? And then we got Juan JZB, customer, excuse me, sir, where are you located? Are you located in Tampa? That sounds saying Chatar. All right. Okay, all right. Thank you, Juan. All right. So next one, Sergio Mendez says, customer, sir, where are you located? No. Okay. Sergio says, you couldn't afford the computer, it was too expensive. Very good. Sergio Mendez. Awesome. Sergio Mendez said it, right? Sergio Mendez just wrote it down. Mr. Customer, I understand you couldn't afford the computer because it was too expensive, and then you do something special for the customer. And that's your job. That's the part of your job. Right. What we are doing right now is just part of the communication that you need to start building with the customer, so customer will feel more like at least I'm talking with a person that sounds at least knowledgeable of the things of he or she's doing. All righty. Very good, Sergio Mendez. All right. Another one. Pay attention to this one. The customer says the following. Oh, you know what? I can't go to an Apple store. I need you to send a replacement to my address. So how would you refer that to the customer? How would you do it? I can't go to an Apple store. I need you to send me a replacement to my address. Remember what you need to do. The customer speaks in present. If the customer speaks in present, so what you need to do, you need to use the past, right? If the customer used present, you need to use the past. But if the customer uses the past, you need to use the further past, or aka the past perfect. And you know this. I know you know this. But you need to know how to use it. And this is something that you are not taught when in your English lessons, whatever place you have taken English in the past. I promise you. Or let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments if you knew this already. Either right now or later. Right? That's why you need to subscribe. Good. That's perfect. So how would you refer to that statement, guys? How would you do it? I can't go to an Apple store. I need to send me a replacement to my address. So you couldn't go to an Apple store. You needed to send, and you needed, I send you a replacement to your address. Alrighty, much better. Racines 97, much better. Very good. You couldn't get into the Apple store. Be careful with your vocabulary over there. You couldn't get in the Apple store. Why? Why you couldn't get in the Apple store? And then we got Albert Alvarez. You couldn't go to an Apple store and needed me to send you a replacement to your address. Very good. Very good, guys. I think you got this. I think you got this. You're going to be the master on this, right? You're going to be the master on this thing. One more time. This might happen to you guys sometimes, especially if you are the sales agent, if you are the sales representative, okay? Sergio Mendez says, you couldn't go to the Apple store. You need me to send you a replacement. You needed to send you a replacement to your address. You needed me to send you, we're being present, send you a replacement to your address. But yes, Sergio. High five and fist bump to you, Sergio. All right, now take a look at this. I don't know why, but what is going on? Is this lesson too, is too advanced for TikTok? Because nobody on TikTok is participating. What's going on with you guys? But YouTube is hitting it. All right, YouTube is hitting it. Okay, now take a look at this. This is something that is going to happen a lot. The customer calls in, you're having a really nice chat with the customer, and suddenly the customer says something like this. You know what? I can't pay right now. I don't have my credit card with me. So how would you answer that to the customer? How will you use referring with the customer? I can't pay you right now. I don't have my credit card with me. Mientras tanto, un corte comercial. Bueno, no es comercial. Antes que nada, pues quiero agradecer a todas esas personas que se han suscrito a lo que es el canal de Nesting ACC en las últimas semanas. Ya en su momento voy a revelar quiénes son las personas. Quiero también agradecer a todas esas personas que el cupo para lo que es el call center de las 120 horas, tanto para sábado y domingo, está sold out, está vendido, no sé si se dice, ¿verdad? Se está vendido. It has been sold out, right? Anyway, so thank you very much for the opportunity, everybody. And at the same time, I just want you to know that pienso abrir un curso de lunes de entre semanas y tener diferentes tipos de horarios. A partir de tal vez 2 horarios en la mañana y tener tal vez 2 horarios en la tarde. Déjenme saber si están interesados en que abra cursos durante la semana. Ya afortunadamente, para las personas que ya se matricularon a lo que es el curso de las 120 horas, estamos completos, no tenemos espacio. Sin embargo, pienso abrir lo que es un nuevo curso, pero esta vez de diferentes horarios. Entonces, me gustaría que de pronto ustedes me dejen saber qué horario sería el mejor para ustedes. De tal forma yo pudiera abrir esos espacios y ver de qué manera ustedes se puedan matricular. Les recuerdo de que para fines de semana sí había un precio de promoción que era $19.99. Para el precio de lo que es en la semana, pues todavía estamos viendo costos para ver a cómo sale, pero va a salir obviamente siempre más económico que cualquier centro de idiomas donde ustedes tal vez hayan preguntado o cualquier English for Call Center que de pronto ustedes puedan escuchar, para que lo tengan en mente, ¿verdad? Lo único que me gustaría es que tal vez puedan comentar qué horario sería para ustedes el más conveniente y en dependencia de demanda podríamos hacer la oferta. Alrighty? With that being said, vamos a ver qué dicen los chicos en YouTube and TikTok. Gabby says, you couldn't pay right now. You couldn't pay right now. You didn't have your credit card right now. Very good, Gabby. Gabby, you got it. High five, fist bump. Thank you. Thank you. You're representing TikTok today. Good job, Gabby. And also we have Michael Velez. You didn't have your credit card, mister. Very good, Michael. The first part, Michael. The first part was missing. The customer says, I can't pay right now. I don't have my credit card with me. All righty. And the first part, you missed the first part, Michael. Very good. So, Racinos, you couldn't pay it at the moment. You didn't have your credit card with you. Very good, man. Very, very, very good, Racinos. High five, Racinos, and fist bump to you. High five and fist bump to you. You're doing such a great job, my friend. Then we got Wilbur Alvarez. You couldn't pay before. You didn't have your credit card on you. Yeah, very good, Wilbur. Very good. High five, my friend, and fist bump to you. Yep. Customer is using present, you go to the past. The customer is using past, you go to the further past, which is AKA present perfect. Don't call it further past. I'm calling it because just for fun, okay? Just for fun. But technically, yes, it's further past. You go a little bit further in the past, okay? Anyway, so we got Sergio Mendes. You couldn't pay it. At the moment, you didn't have your credit card with you. Awesome, guys. I think we're done. I think you have done such a beautiful job today, guys. Such a beautiful job today. All right. Do I have more sentences? Let me see. Okay. This one. Pay attention to this one. Imagine that the customer says something like, you know what? The information that you send me, the offer that you send me, it's pretty good. It's interesting. I like it. However, I will email you soon. The customer says that to you. I will email you soon. And 1 day happened, 2 days happened, 1 week happens, 3 weeks happens, nothing happens, right? Nothing happens. You never receive any email from the customer. So the customer says in previous scenario, in previous call, the customer says something like, I will email you soon. I will email you the information. I will send you the information that you're requesting. How would you refer that sentence, which is in future, but in the past? How would you do that, guys? How would you do that, everybody? I will email you soon. But the sentence is in future. You're having a conversation with the customer. The customer says to you, I will email you soon. But you never receive anything from the customer. So how would you change that? In the past. Yeah, very good. Absolutely. You would email soon. Mr. Customer, I'm calling you. And the other day, you told me you would email me soon the information I requested you about XYZ. Very good, Wilbur Alvarez. Excellent. High five and fist bump. So, what can we say about this? What can we say about this? we can say the following. Take a look. Let's go back to our whiteboard. Let's go back to our whiteboard. So when the customer, so we're talking about when the customer is in present. This is the sentence that the customer says. You use the past, okay? When the customer talks in the past, this is the sentence that the customer said, and this is going to be the present, the past perfect. But what happens, right, in this case, when the customer talks or refers to the future, will or won't. All right, will or won't. So what do we need to use? According to Wilbur, which is pretty good, right? Which is pretty good attempt. You will use what? Which one are you going to use? You're going to use would or wouldn't. Simple as that. So the would and wouldn't represent the past of will. And you might think, but hold on, wait a second. The past of will, does will have past? Because we're talking about the future. Yes, but remember that in second conditional, there is something that we call, hold on, I don't see myself here. But remember that in second conditional, there is something that we call imagination or imaginary situations. When that happens is that we are thinking in the present about things that could happen in the future, and that's the reason why we use would as if you were speaking in the future but in the past. It kind of very, very strange if you read it from a grammar book, but whenever you put it into practice, which is when you're spoken English, this is how you use it. So the customer says, I will email you that in a minute, but you never receive that email. So you call the customer back, and then, and at the same time, guys, this is a really polite request. You said you would email me the information, but you haven't done it just yet. Alrighty? That's the way it works. That's the way that you use would referring to the past when the customer talks in future or refers to the future, something that he's going to do in the future or he will do in the future. Alrighty? And okay, that's one of the things. Now, take a look at the following. Take a look at the following. Imagine this. Maybe you have heard this a lot. For example, when you are, this happens a lot, guys. When you are a customer service representative, when you work, not a customer service representative, when you are an advocate, technical support, when you work at the technical support as a position, right? When you work in a technical support position, and customer pretty much they call in and they say, oh, you know what? I just bought my new iPhone and I got it damaged. And then you maybe request information, you verify the customer, you verify the address, you verify the serial number of the device. And suddenly you ask the customer, okay, Mr. Customer, I have something for you. Let's go ahead. Things better for you. I'm gonna be sending you a new iPhone, right? As a something that you would like to help the customer, right? However, I need you to send me the buy-in ticket. I need you to send me the ticket, the one which you bought that iPhone. And then the customer says something like this: I will send you the information. This happens a lot in positions like technical support. In technical support, you have a lot of skills. You even have a fax machine if it's possible. All right. You even have a fax machine, or you have at least a fax number, because you need the customer send you information like PDF file, documents, in order for you to make sure what is going to be your next decision, or what is going to be the best for you and for the customer. At the end, it's a win-to-win situation. Alrighty. So with that being said, sometimes customer will say something like this: I will send you the information. And maybe you are been waiting for, let's say, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour, 3 hours, and you have your open case. And the time is ticking. And your coach is telling you, hey, what is going on? Why you haven't closed that ticket just yet? Why are you still with that open ticket? You should have closed that ticket long time ago. But guess what? The customer hasn't sent you the information you requested. Alrighty? And the customer says, the last thing you remember from the customer is, I will send you the information. So you call the customer back, but what are you going to say to the customer? Mr. Customer, where's the paper? Send me the paper. Send me the paper. MF. Are you going to say that to the customer? Obviously, no, right? You're not going to say that to the customer. You're going to say to the customer, Mr. Customer, in our previous conversation, you would send me the information, but you haven't done it just yet. And I need it in order for me to proceed with the resolution, which in this case was to replace the iPhone, right? The case, the scenario. So I was the best teacher in Nicaragua, bro. Oh, thank you, Augusto. Thank you. Sub. Then Reynaldo Reyes. Hi, I will subscribe too. Okay, so pay attention to this. Reynaldo say, I will be subscribed to. All right. So let me just go to my YouTube account. And if I don't see Reynaldo there, so I can call him back. Hey, man, you said you would subscribe. Because at the moment of he is speaking, he said, I will subscribe, right? So you would be subscribed. You told me you would be subscribed to my YouTube account on Nesting ACC YouTube, but I haven't seen you there just yet. So this is the way that you use communication. And that is important. Yes, it's important because you're building communication, and building communication with customer. We're talking about number one, empathy. This is how you start empathy. This let's say what we have just right here. This is how you start empathy. This is the beginning of empathy. This is the beginning of acknowledge the customer. This is the beginning of having better communication with the customer. This is the beginning of not hearing from the customer, I want to speak to an American. That's the beginning. And it's important because this is spoken language. You know how to use present. You know the rule of the present. You know the rule of the past. You know the rule of the further past, aka past participle. But you need to know how to use those things. Otherwise, you're going to be like, boom. And you exploit, right? I couldn't understand that customer. That MF didn't send me the information properly. Now my coach is under my shoulder and I don't want to be fired. So, aka, you're not going to be fired just because you haven't closed that ticket, okay? Just for the records. Anyway, so I send you the information. So you would send to me? You would send, right? You would send. What it changes is will instead of would. You use would instead of will. I'm sorry. You would use would instead of will. Then we go, hey, what's up, Ronald Carrillo? Could you send me? Yeah, that's another one. Instead of using would, you can also use could, right? Could you send me that info as fast as possible in order for me to complete the purchase easily? Yep, absolutely right. Absolutely right. So the best teacher in Nicaragua, bro. Yes, I will. All righty. Very good, guys. Okay. All righty. So we got Okay, Wilbur says you were going to email soon. Let me see. Maybe there's more information. Would you email? Would you email soon? Would you email that soon? Can you or could you please email that soon? Yeah, there are some expressions. Let me see if I have another one. So, okay, pay attention to this. Okay, this is the exercise now. I have people representing TikTok, and I need people representing YouTube. Okay, pay attention to this. This is the exercise, everybody. The customer calls in, you're having a really good conversation with the customer, and suddenly the customer says something like, you know what? The quality is too low. The quality is too low. One more time. The quality is too low. How would you refer that to the customer? The customer says that the quality is too low. How would you refer that to the customer? Small parenthesis. Raymond Ray. Hey, what's up, Raymond? Long time no see, man. Where have you been? I'm here now. Goodbyes. Racina's 97. The quality was too low. Very good. Very good. Mr. Customer, I understand the quality was too low. Absolutely. Absolutely beautiful. The quality. Very good. Okay. Activate it. We have TikTok and YouTube. We got TikTok and YouTube. So participation from Gabby from TikTok. Gabby from TikTok and Racina's from YouTube. Racina's from YouTube. Okay, very good. Awesome. High five, Racina's. Very good job. High five, Gabby. Very good job as well. Beautiful, everybody. All right. Next exercise. This is the exercise part now. Take a look at this. You're having a conversation with the customer, and the customer says something horrible like this. Maybe I can find another supplier. Ooh, how it hurts when a customer says something like this. Maybe I can find another supplier. Oh, you're gonna say, fuck it, I don't care. Go for it. We are the best. Are you gonna say that to the customer? No, right? You need to persuade the customer. And one of the ways in order for you to start persuasion is that you need to refer what the customer has said. How can you refer this to the customer? The customer says, maybe I can find another supplier. Just straightforward to your those parts where it hurts. Okay, Racina's representing YouTube says, maybe you could find another supplier. Okay, yeah. Mr. Customer, I understand that maybe you could find another supplier, but guess what? I am just right here on the helping desk, and I'll do all my best in order for you to make sure that's not gonna happen. You can't waste your time because in the end, we are the best supplier ever for your new iPhone 13. All right. I would appreciate that you can give it more context. All right, Racinas, but that's very good. That's very good. I mean, I'm talking about the referring part. Maybe you could find another supplier, which is true. I mean, how many suppliers those iPhone 13s are in the world? I don't know. Thousands, maybe. Millions, maybe. One JC says, I hope you can find. I hope you can't. Okay. That's rude, dude. That's good one though. Maybe I can find another supplier, and then you can say, "I hope you can't." That's good one. However, persuasion, right? You can find another supplier. Oh, you don't need that. I'm sure I can help you. Okay. Yeah, much better. Gabby, you know what, Rosinas? Even though you answer first, let me tell you that Gabby04 gave a little bit, a further explanation on that. Remember, we are in the call center right now. I'm just giving you some hints. I'm just giving you some information. I'm the customer. The customer suddenly says, "Oh, you know what? Maybe I can find another supplier." And then Gabby says, Mr. Customer, you could find another supplier, but I just going to make sure that that's not going to happen because I'm going to be giving you the best offer in the world. And let me go ahead and give you something that happened to me in one of the recent interview that I went through. And you will let me know how would you answer to that question. But I'm going to be sharing with you at the end, because in this week, everybody, as you may know, some things that I actually do whenever I have time, I apply to some call centers nationally and internationally in order for me to be aware of what's going on. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here talking to you about what the things that have been talking with you, right? Anyway, so I'm going to be sharing with you today at the end of today's live event. So I hope you can't. And then we got, you could have found other supplier. You could have found other supplier. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. You know what? You are going to find another supplier because we are Apple and we are a monopoly. That is pretty much arguing with the customer, and that's not gonna turn really well in the end. But anyway, okay, this point is gonna be for Gabby from TikTok. Gabby from TikTok. So TikTok already have 2 points, and the board and YouTube already have 1 point. Okay, let's move it on to the next one, everybody. Let's move it on to the next one. Let's see what's going on. So you're having a conversation. Okay, so let's say that you're having a conversation with the customer, and suddenly the customer says something like, "Oh, you know what? It is difficult to schedule another meeting at the store. It is difficult to schedule another meeting at the store." How would you refer that to the customer? One more time. It is difficult to schedule another meeting at the store. How would you refer that to the customer? So we have Rafael Flores. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going, Rafael? Nice to see you, man. Long time no see. Where have you been? Are you still in Maragalpa? I saw some feed on Facebook. You were in Maragalpa, I think, huh? Nice to have you, man. Thank you. So let's win. Yeah, yes, that's the attitude, Juan. That's the attitude. Let's win this round. Yep, that's the attitude. So once again, it is difficult to schedule another meeting at the store. The customer is having a conversation with you, and you said to the customer, Mr. Customer, you need to go to the store in order for you to have your iPhone 13 replaced. And the customer says, oh, you know what? It is difficult to schedule another meeting at the store. And guess what? In United States, these Apple stores, most of them, or Microsoft stores, when you go, if you want to go there and have a, let's say, a priority request, you need to schedule a meeting, or you need to schedule a replacement, or whatever thing you would like to do. And the way that you do that is by going to a Apple store and on website, and you introduce your information, and you said what time you pretty much will say to the system what time you're going to be there, what is the problem about, and so on. It's like an appointment. You are scheduling an appointment, and that is totally normal in the United States. Here in Nicaragua, you know that it doesn't happen. That's a sad thing, but that's the truth, right? Here in Nicaragua, you give it to a person, and the person will tell you, oh, you know what, I need to flash it. That's the only thing that they can give it to you. And I can promise you anything. I need to flash it, and I might fuck that up. And if that happens, well, I'm sorry, right? But anyway, you need to pay $50 for that. That's the truth. All right. Anyway, so here to help. Thank you, Rafael Flores. Thank you, man. Thank you, Mr. I know it was difficult for you. So what's the thing? It is difficult to schedule another meeting at the store. Michael, take a look at the whole expression. Don't just finish with your sentences in the middle, right? I know it was difficult for you. Yes, that is referring, but let's build some story just around it, okay? For example, take a look at Rosina's, your own teammate, right? It was difficult to schedule another meeting at the store, but you could schedule one. Very good. Beautiful. So you are telling the customer what you understood, and at the same time you're giving the customer a solution about it, right? Awesome. As simple as that. Very good. This time Racina's, you see, very good, man. So another one from Racina's is YouTube, right? YouTube Racina's. So 2-2, that's the board so far. Gabi said, we will do a space for you. Tell me what's their project time for you. Okay, the perfect time. Gabi, that's good as a resolution, right? That's good as a resolution. That's good as a helping the customer. However, you're missing the important part that we are covering today, which is referring the customer. Referring the customer. What is referring the customer? The customer says, it is difficult to schedule another meeting at the store. It is difficult to the customer because maybe he doesn't know, maybe he doesn't have internet, maybe he have requested somebody else to set up the meeting for him. So it might happen a lot of things. It might happen a lot of things. So the customer says, it is difficult to schedule another meeting at the store. So you need to refer that part, as Racina's just said it. Mr. Customer, I understand that it was difficult to schedule another meeting at the store, but you could schedule, or I'm going to schedule one for you just right now. Beautiful. And we also we have one. I understand it was difficult to schedule a meeting at the store, but let me tell you that I'm here to help you, so we can schedule another one as soon as possible. Beautiful. Beautiful. It was difficult for you? Yes, absolutely, Gabby. That's the one. And take a look at this one. Juan, it's very, very complete with this one. I want to show you this. I want you to take a look at what Juan has said. I don't know if you can see it, but it says, I understand that was difficult to schedule a meeting at the store. But let me tell you that I'm here to help you, so we can schedule another one as soon as possible. That's very complete. Very good, Juan. Very good, man. Congrats. All right, let me flip the camera. Good. Yep. All righty. One. Very good. Then we got, okay, I'm willing to do it. Very good, Michael. Very good. Okay, next one, guys. So the board, TikTok 2, YouTube 2. All right, that's the board so far. So let's see. The customer already bought an iPhone. And the customer says, oh, you know what? Can you deliver it earlier? The customer says, can you deliver it earlier? That's what the customer says. Can you deliver it earlier? Could you, or can you? Oh, damn, I just said. Can you deliver it earlier? How would you refer that? Something that I tell my customer is, I would like to schedule. Yeah, very good. I would like to schedule another meeting right now to make sure I'm available to follow up with you. Very good. Absolutely. Rafael, high five and fist bump to you, man. High five and fist bump to you too. Excuse me. Okay, so that's the sentence. The customer already bought the phone, iPhone 13. By the way, Apple is not sponsoring anything of this, okay? This is just for customer service practicing only. So could I deliver it earlier? Gavi, take a look at those tenses over there. Could I am? Can you use could I am? Can you use could, and am in one single sentence? Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. That's right. Once again, Gabby, you don't need to sorry. You don't need to sorry. You don't need to feel sorry about. I already explained this. You need to embrace it and see it. Oh, okay, this is my mistake. So let me fix it. And voila, you fix it. So Raphael's, hey, high five, man. Good. So very good. Juan, you say, you asked me if we could deliver it earlier. Very good, man. Very good. Excellent. Mr. Customer, you said this is the one, right? This is like a better sentence. Mr. Customer, you said if I could deliver it earlier, absolutely we could do that. Beautiful. Juan and Recinos. Juan Recinos, and also Michael says, yes, mister, we can hand it in we can hand it in most soon possible for you. As soon as possible would be the expression, Michael. As soon as possible for you. As soon as possible for you. But remember the referring part. Can you deliver it earlier? This is what the customer said. Oh, yes, I want to buy the new iPhone 13. I bought it. This is swipe my card. This is my card number. This is my address. And what is the time frame for me to have it? Okay, it's going to be 10 days. What? 10 days? No. Can you deliver it earlier? Alrighty. And then you say something like this. Oh, Mr. Customer, you said if I could deliver it earlier. Absolutely, we can do that. Alrighty. You need to refer what the customer have said. That's what we are practicing today. Alrighty. So that was better, I think. What is this game? Alrighty, cool. Lamed wing. We're talking about referring the customer. What is referring the customer? Is in your communication in the call center, making sure that you have understood what the customer just said and get back to that previous communication so you can, from that point, start with next time you face the customer. Okay? So it's gonna, if you haven't been during the whole lesson, go back to YouTube, you watch the video, and I promise you, if you use this, if you learn this, you will improve your spoken English skills. Anyway, so I will improve my promises. Very good, man. Very good. All right. One more, guys. So, sorry. We got Recinos and Juan, right? From YouTube. Recinos and Juan. So the board says, we have 1, 2, 3, right? 3 on YouTube and 1 from TikTok. What is going on, TikTok? You're a little bit behind today. Okay, so now you work. This is a scenario where, as a customer service, take a look at this. The customer calls in and the customer says, you know what? I bought 2 new computers and they are not working now. All right, that's the scenario. I bought 2 new computers and they are not working now. How would you refer that to the customer? Eduardo Sandino says, vengo de TikTok. Aquí se ve mejor. Claro, siempre yo les digo que se vayan a YouTube. Ahí está todito. So going back to our sentence, everybody. I bought 2 new computers and they are not working now. And before you said, I'm sorry, Mr. Customer, your computers are not working. Don't sorry the customer, right? Don't sorry the customer. Acknowledge, obviously you need to acknowledge what the customer situation is, but before you just go ahead and jump on that, you need to refer what the customer just said. So how would you do it? Si no han visto esa clase, que fue la del sábado, no, la del viernes pasado, aquí les voy a dejar una tarjetita, clic, para los que están viendo el reprise de esto, donde les va a salir y los va a llevar a esa clase para que sepan cómo hablarle al cliente. Alrighty? In a call flow. En lo que es un call flow. All right. So the customer says, this is for customer service representative or technical support. Either or. I bought 2 new computers and they are not working. How would you refer that to the customer? Remember that. Let's go to the screen. Remember that when you refer to the customer, if the customer speaks in present, you need to use the past. If the customer uses or speaks in past, you need to use the further past, aka past, not past participle, present, past perfect, right? Past perfect. And if the customer uses future, what you need to use? You need to use the wouldn't, right? That's what you need to remember. That's what you need to remember. What's that you need to remember? Alrighty, so we have the sentence. I bought 2 new computers and they are not working now. I bought 2 new computers and they are not working now. And Gabi04 says, did you buy 2 new computers and they're not working now? Oh, let me help you. That's a question, Gabi. And Gabi, this is something that you need to take a look. I'm going to show you because maybe it's going to help you a lot. Take a look. Referring the customer. When the customer says something, right? When the customer says something in present, right? In order for you to refer the customer, let me go ahead and show it as well on YouTube so everybody can actually sees it. Okay. So when the customer refers to the present, you need to use the past. Okay. The customer says something in present, you need to use the past. When the customer says something in past, you need to use the further past, aka past perfect. When the customer uses future in his or her sentence, right, you need to use would and wouldn't. That refers to the past of would, that refers to the past of will. Alrighty? Just keep that in mind. So we have some people on YouTube that say the following. Okay, mister, you told me that these computers were not working. We can't resolve this problem. So going back to our sentence, I bought 2 new computers. And they were not working. I bought 2 new computers. It's already in past. I bought 2 new computers. It's already in past. So you need to refer to the further. You need to refer to the further past, which is the past perfect. Alrighty, Michael? Alrighty, Michael, my friend, Michael. Guys, we already are 9 people on what? On what? What's this platform? I just forgot it. On YouTube, right? We are 9 people on YouTube. Please, 9 likes. 9 personas on YouTube. 9 likes on YouTube. Please, 9 shares. 9 comments. Okay? 9 comments. 9 comments. 9 comments. Qué horrible es venir del inglés al español. Anyway. So, then we have Michael, right? Michael, that was the sentence. Okay, Michael, pay attention. Pay attention, Michael, to the sentence. The sentence is written, the first part in past and the second part in present. If the customer speaks in present, you talk about the past. If the customer speaks in past, you talk about, or you use the further past perfect. All right, just keep that in mind. Then we got Racino's. Mr. Customer, you said you have. Yes. Racino's, you said you have bought 2 new computers. Sorry about that. You said you have bought 2 new computers and they didn't work or they didn't work in. What? Racino's, what happened? I mean, the first part of the sentence, Racino's, just wonderful. But the second part, it's not convincing me. It would be more than what? It would be more than glad to help you out. Okay, that's part of the rest of the sentence. Right now, I'm just focusing on the referring part. But the second part of your sentence where you said, and they didn't work out, that's something that we need to fix, Racino's, because it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good. And then we got Juan JZB. Probably you hadn't bought 2 computers and they are not working now because I assume that hasn't not fixed yet or they were not working. The first part, Juan, is good. You have bought 2 new computers. They are not working, but that's the first part. That's the second part of the sentence since you are not referring the customer. You are just repeating what the customer just said, right? So you need to pay attention to that part. Okay. So then we got Juan. Then we got Sergio Mendez. Sergio Mendez says, Mr. Customer, you said that you had bought 2 new computers and they were not working. They are not working that's the only thing at the moment that they will know. I wouldn't use there at the moment because it's right now, and that would be simple. That would be present progressive. So it would be, and they were not working as you expected. They were not working as you expected. All right, they were not working as you expected. However, I'm here to help you out. Very good. That's part of the resolution. That's part of how you're gonna be addressing the situation with the customer, which is totally all right. And right now we're focusing on the referring part. Okay. So far nobody, at least on YouTube. Let's see. Ronald Carrillo. Okay, Mr. Customer, you already told me that your computer were working properly, so let me make it right for you. Yes, Ronald. Yes, it's not that bad. But that's not referring the customer. Okay, now I want you to pay attention to this. Take a look at this. And why is this important? For example, if a customer calls in and he listens things like this, oh yes, Mr. Customer, I understand you have bought I understand that you had bought 2 computers and they were not working. You're talking about the past of something because the customer already told you the past about something, right? So whenever the customer talks about the past, you use the further past, aka past perfect. Now, listen to this. Okay, Mr. Customer, you already told me that your computer were working properly, so let me make it right for you. I mean, this is not, let's say, I just want you to picture this. I just want you to picture, imagine yourself a customer. Imagine yourself as the customer, right? And you hear something like this from a customer service representative. You told me you had bought a computer and they were not working. And now you telling me, or you told me that your computers were not working properly. In the brain of the customer, it will say something like, okay, this person understands what I'm going through right now. And the brain of the customer, when he sees or hears something like this, it will be like, I'm not quite sure if this person understands me. And that's the cultural thing. If we go back to our whiteboard, which is this one right here. If we go back to our whiteboard, we need to understand this in order for us to improve our communication. If we understand this, our communication with customer will boost, I told you, 100 times faster. And the customer will feel like appreciated. The customer will feel like, oh, at least I have somebody who is going to help me and he's going to do his or her best, her very, very best. Alrighty? So, and Rona, nothing against you, okay? Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, my friend. Nothing against you. What happened, sweetie? You want to watch TV on the computer? Sure, baby. Go. Close the door. Shut the door. I'm in the class right now. What do you need, sweetie? What do you need? You want to watch with me? But right now, in the middle of the class. Thank you. Talk to you soon. Those were my babies. Anyway, what I was saying? Jesus, I just forgot it. Anyway, subscribe, everybody. Subscribe to the best English for Call Center. And that's nice to see on YouTube, okay? I got it. I didn't see the explanation part before. Yeah. I remember now. Yeah, Ronald. Nothing against you, man. Nothing against you. I pretty understand that you were not in the class at the very beginning. And I can tell that because, number one, you didn't participate at the very beginning. Maybe you weren't at the class and you are just jumping in right now. And that's totally okay. That's totally normal. That's totally fine. However, I encourage you, my friend, that you can go back and rewatch this video, especially the explanation of when the customer speaks in present, you use the past. When the customer speaks in past, you use the past perfect. When the customer use will or want, you use would, wouldn't, could. In order for you to sound a confident English speaker, and you don't face something like happened to me in the past. You know what? I went to speak to an American, and I was like, "Fuck it, man! I live in America. What are you talking about?" And I was arguing with the customer without saying the word "fucked," obviously, and it pissed me off because, as you may know, speaking in a language requires time, requires an effort, requires money. And then somebody says to you, you know what, I want to speak to an American. And the reason that happened is because we need to improve our speaking skills. And that's why you need to subscribe to this channel, Nasty NACC, just because of that. Good, perfect. Racina's 97, okay. Great, goals, speaking English with your babies. Yeah, man. Absolutely, they speak English. Facts. Alrighty. I do it. All right. Beautiful. So Gabby04 says, did you buy to new customers? Oh, got it. I didn't see the explanation part before. Yep, absolutely. All right, let's move it on to the next one, guys. Let's move it on to the next one. Okay, take a look at this one. Remember, you need to use, if the customer is speaking in present, what tense you need to use? Let me ask you that then, before we go to with the last one. If the customer speaks in present, what tense do you need to use? If the customer speaks in present, what tense do you need to use? Let me know in the comments. Come on, guys. If the customer speaks in present, what tense do you need to use? Any idea? You need to use the past tense. Alrighty? Remember that in English, we only have, well, we have 12 tenses, but the principal tenses are present, past, and future. Alrighty? With that being said, if the customer speaks in past, what tense you need to use in order for you to refer the customer? Referring communication. That's what it calls. Referring. In other words, you are talking with the customer about something in the past you have talked with about. If the customer is speaking past, what tense you need to use? Past participle or past perfect? The further past. Yes, the further past, which is AKA past perfect. Very good. Very good, Juan. Good job, man. High five and fist bump to you. Good job, man. And the last one, right? The last one. If the customer refers or talks in future, what tense or what tense will you need to use? The further past tense. Yeah. If you go to a grammar test and then you are with an examiner and the examiner asks you, okay, what is this tense? And then you say something like the further past tense. And the examiner will be like, what the hell are you talking about? The further past tense? And then you explain, yeah, the further past tense, because you need to talk about further in the past, aka the past perfect. It will be like, good. Where did you learn that? Very good. The past perfects are here. All right, good. But if the customer talks about the future, you need to use the would or wouldn't, right? Would or wouldn't. So with that being said, this is the last one, guys. This is the last one. TikTok, YouTube. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? So the customer calls in, right? The customer calls in, and the customer says, "Oh, Mr. Customer, you said to the customer, oh, Mr. Customer, my name is Nestor. I'm calling on behalf of Apple's computer, and I have information from you that you're requesting about our new iPhone 13." And then the customer says, you know what? I'm going to the store next week. But the customer never went to the store. How would you call the customer back and refer that statement? The statement is, I'm going to the store next week. And the first who writes down a complete sentence gets 2 points immediately. either for TikTok or for YouTube. One more time. You call in the customer says to you, oh, you know what? Thank you very much. I don't have time to talk to you right now, but I'm going to the store next week. Then you realize in your system that the customer never show up or never went to the store. So in order for you to close that sale, you call the customer back, but how would you refer this to the customer? In the past, the customer says, I'm going to go to the store next week. Tick tock, tick tock, tick 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 tock, tick tock, tick tock. Recinos, no, my friend. Take a look at the statement once again. I'm going to the store next week. What tense is that, Recinos? And then we have, you told me that, there you go, Juan JZB. You told me that you were going to come to the store this week, assuming that yeah, very good. Absolutely, man. High five, Juan. High five and fist bump to you, man. High five and fist bump to you. Yeah, absolutely. Present, I am going to go to the store. Past, I was going to go to the store. And if the customer says, I was going to go to the store, what would be the further past of that? What would be the further past of that? I was going to go to the store. What would be the further past of that? And then we got Sergio Mendez. You said you was going to the store last week. You was going to the store, or you were going to go to the store. You were going to go to the store. You say you were going to go to the store last week. That's right, Sergio Mendez. That's right. So I think we got it. So this time the winner was 2 more points for YouTube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My goodness. TikTok on the board, you got 2 points. And YouTube got 7 points. Congratulations to those people on YouTube. High five, everybody, and fist bump to you all. High five and fist bump to you all. Good. So we got set here. Mr. Customer, you say you were going to go to the store last week. Okay, very good, man. Absolutely right, guys. Absolutely right. Okay, guys, so we have come to the end of our today's lesson. I hopefully expect you have learned something new, something. I hopefully expect that you have taken something new with you today. Okay, guys, so I just want to say thank you. We got a new subscriber, Gabby Gonzalez. Thank you so much, Gabby Gonzalez. I appreciate the fact you have been subscribed to this amazing channel where you can learn more about the call center industry and how you can get yourself ready for that job opportunity in a call center. All righty. I just want to share something with you guys. What else? Just give me 1 second, everybody. So we got YouTube. Racina, take care, man. It was good to have you in today's lesson, man. Thank you very much for participating, man. It was my pleasure. Guys, do you have any question? Do you guys have any question? before we leave? Okay, so let's see. Let me share something with you before we leave, guys. I just want to say thank you to the following people, right? So I just want to say thank you to, let's say, we got new subscriber, Gabby. Gabby, thank you very much, and high five to you. We got Helton. Helton Zamora says, saqué 66 puntos en el Versant test. Además, hice la entrevista con el reclutador y Operation Manager. Está aprobado y fui ahí y fui contratado en IBEX. Congratulations, Helton. Muchas felicidades. Me alegro mucho por ti que hayas sido contratado en IBEX. Ojalá te ganes el carro, alguna moto. ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más están rifando esta gente? Felicidades, Helton. Felicidades, muchas felicidades. Tal vez de pronto, en los en vivos que hago, como por ejemplo este, tal vez puedas jump in, puedes saltar y tal vez nos comentas qué fue lo que hiciste, ¿verdad? Para poder que te contrataran, para poder, para saber qué fue lo que hiciste, lo puedes compartir con las demás personas y de pronto pues nos dices ahí, ¿verdad? ¿Qué tal fue tu experiencia en sí con el Versant? 66 puntos. No sé si fue la primera vez, la segunda, la tercera, la cuarta, pero es una nota muy buena. De hecho, pues, están buscando personas de 50, 51, 54, 55 para arriba. El Versant se pasa para call center, se pasa con 60, pero hay, lo he explicado varias veces, hay call centers, pues, dependiendo de la demanda o dependiendo de la situación del propio call center, pueden bajarle. Y eso es la parte, let's say, buena, ¿no? Para todos aquellos que todavía no hemos llegado a un nivel alto. Eduardo Matamoros. Eduardo, thank you, man. Thank you very much for subscribing. That happened just one day ago. We got Eduardo Matamoros just right here. Thank you, man. High five and fist bump to you. Then we got Rafael. Hey, man, what's up, man? High five and fist bump to you. Would you go ahead and start working with our podcast, man? So we got, okay, these people are from the Philippines, if I'm not mistaken, right? We got Tranchu, Pong Nu Goyan. My bad if I'm just pronouncing your names, guys. And Tam Trim. I'm not sure. It seems to me Philippines. I'm not sure. We got another subscriber, which is well, thank you for those people from the Philippines as well. I do really appreciate the fact that you have been subscribing to Nestin ACC. We got another one, which is SJ Ozilba. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Another subscriber, which is Edwin Fiebel Adamson Vasquez Sandoval. Thank you, man. I do really appreciate it. Oscar Alonso, thank you. Homer King, thank you, man. Thank you. Omar, thank you. And that will be it. Livia, yeah, I remember Livia, which was the last one that I just mentioned in our last live event. Alrighty, guys. So do you guys any question before we leave? Do you have any question before we leave? ¿Tienen preguntas, chicos, antes que nos vayamos? Sergio Mendez, I just want to tell you before you leave, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. Are very useful. Trust me, it has helped me a lot. Sergio Mendez, my pleasure, man. My pleasure being with you guys today. The only thing that I can tell you is that if you put this into practice, you are going to succeed in your career as a customer service representative, and then further, further opportunities will come, further opportunities will approach. If you are working already in a call center, right, it will be great start building or start working on your emotional intelligence. That will help you a lot to grow as a person and start working with people. In call centers, that's number one thing you need to think about. You need to stop thinking about you only at the you need to think about you at the very beginning of your career. But once you know how things work, you need to start helping others if you want to reach, if you want to have the opportunity to have access to other job opportunities, right? That's what we are sharing here. That's why we are just delivering this type of lessons. And that's why we are here today. But thank you, Sergio, for sharing and commenting that as well. Okay, alrighty. Quiero saber, de pronto pienso hacer una sesión de cómo aprender mejor inglés, cómo aprender vocabulario, ¿verdad? Lecciones. But let me know in the comments if you would like to have that kind of lessons. Alrighty, let me know that in the comments. Alrighty, guys, no more questions. TikTok, what happened to TikTok peoples today was a little bit down, unless for Gabby. I just want to say thank you, right? Thank you very much for your participation. You just did a very good job in today's lesson. Alrighty, guys. So I think it's time to say goodbye. I just want to say thank you as well to Juan, Resinos97, Sergio Mendez. What else? Once Michael, thank you. Eduardo Sandino. Eduardo just realized today that things on YouTube are much better than on TikTok, huh? Then I want to say thank you, Rafael. Yeah, I want to thank you all, guys, for participating all the way down until here. Wilbur Albert, thank you so much as well. Yeah. Woo! Remember to subscribe, everybody. It's time to say goodbye. Hope to see you next time. See you soon, everybody. Bye-bye for now.
Et puis tu pries pour que ça s'arrête. Et puis seulement quand c'est fini, alors... encore.